Hello, so I wanted to begin this absolutely essential video to your health and well-being on how Oliver likes to eat an apple, and this is going to link in the video, because Oliver to me just looks like a little cutie patootie. He's just like a person. Like, I was looking at them eyes and I was like, damn, that's a person, like for real. He's a human being. He's a full-grown man in a fake gorilla bodysuit. But anyways, moving on from that, the goal of this video is to discuss how a animal that literally eats plants all day can be so wham. Now, gorillas can be really hefty. They can be like, I think it might be 200 kilos. I might even be off. It might be 400. But they are big fellas. They are some big guys. And yet they don't eat meat. You know, I'm chowing down out here on straight chicken breast, broccoli, rice. And yet Oliver munches down on an apple a day, and somehow not only does he keep the doctor away, but he also gains 20 pounds of pure lean muscle from that, while I gain maybe 2 pounds a year at best. And I want to know how. How is this? How can a gorilla turn plant into protein? And the answer is rather simple, believe it or not. Now, the human body is unable to digest cellulose, which is basically the thing that's on the outside of sweet corn. It's in most plants as well, which is why most vegetables are generally pretty low in nutrition for us. So a gorilla eats hella vegetables every day. They eat like leaves, they eat everything. And to us that might only give us like 300 calories, but to them it might be more like 5,000-6,000, whatever it is. So they're eating a hell of a lot of food. Now, your body can synthesize its own amino acids for the most part, which is exactly what muscle is built out of. The protein in our diets, a lot of it is what's called essential amino acids. Now, while we might not get an awful lot from food, we don't need necessarily as much as a lot of us have. You know, in theory, you could probably get by on, 70 or 80 grams of protein a day, and you probably wouldn't lose any muscle, you'd probably be alright. Now, gorillas, they might be having 100, 200 grams, same as a lot of bodybuilders have, but there's a key difference as well. The fact that they are able to have this high calorie intake means that obviously their body has a lot more fuel for building muscle and all that sort of thing, all these other amino acids that they can use. But here's the most important one. A element, I think it's a peptide of some sort in your body, is called myostatin. Now, myostatin is a very, very, very important thing for your muscle building, or rather not muscle building but muscle loss. Now, I want you to think of a scale, them old scales that you used to have in like school or whatever, and you put one weight on one side and another weight on the other and it'll go bloop, bloop, whatever. Anyways, think of a scale. Now, every day you're going to gain, say, 2 pounds of muscle, but you're also going to lose 2 pounds of muscle. So 2 pounds, 2 pounds. Overall, you ain't gaining anything, but you ain't losing anything. Now imagine, gorillas have this exact same scale, but myostatin is out here causing its trouble on us, whereas it isn't on the gorilla. Myostatin in itself inhibits more muscle growth from occurring. The reasoning for this is because if we were like 500 kilograms, we'd probably die of a heart attack when we were like 12 or something like that. So it's not inherently great for us, but gorillas, if they were like tiny little scrawny, little monkeys, they'd probably die in a fight against a bigger gorilla, I'd imagine, or get thrown off a cliff or something. So they kind of need the whamness in order to survive. So their body has much, much less of a level of myostatin, which means when our body, with the same protein intake, might only build 2 pounds of muscle, because the rest is being inhibited by myostatin, a gorilla's body might build 8, or something like that. So that might be in a year, for example. Now, obviously, in terms of a gorilla, it's going to be a lot more than 8. It might be more like 25, 30, 40. I don't know. I don't know how big they get. But the point is, is that there isn't really a cap on how much muscle they can gain beyond what would be deemed natural and reasonable for their size, but it's probably largely to do with how much food they eat, rather than hormonal caps on it. Whereas for us, it's not necessarily not necessarily a dietary cap, it's more of a hormonal one. We could eat, 4,000 calories a day or 3,000 calories a day. We can probably only gain maybe a pound of muscle a year, whatever, if you're eating in a surplus, regardless of how much extra you eat. The rest is just going to go as fat. But with the gorilla, all the extra that's eaten, bit as fat, bit as muscle. It's sort of like there isn't a cap on what they're building. So that is exactly how they are so wham, despite eating vegetables all day. They've got a nice genetic advantage, but they aren't so lucky in terms of lifespan. They don't live as long as us, which is kind of because they fight each other to the death all the time and that sort of thing. But it might also be because they're so wham. But who knows. Anyways, that's about the video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it hasn't been too rambly for you. Thank you. Goodbye.